Welcome to Data Communication. From today, we are going to study this new subject which is known as data communication, in which we are going to study various concepts related to data, some basic concepts of networking and communication. So before starting our actual syllabus, we will first discuss the teaching and examination scheme and course outcomes that we are going to get after studying this subject. So first we will discuss the teaching and examination scheme. This subject contains only theory paper. There will be no practical for this subject. So it is only having 3 lectures per week. As per the theory examination, there will be 70 marks end semester examination, that means your theory paper, and then we will have 30 marks internal. The distribution of 30 internal marks will be 20 marks class test, that will be 2 class tests, and the average will be 20 marks, and the 10 marks will be reserved for micro project that you have to submit at the end of the semester. Now we will move towards the course outcomes of the data communication subject. Now these course outcomes are nothing but the things that you are going to learn at the end of this subject. So there are 5 course outcomes. We will discuss one by one. First is identify the process of data communication, which will have the basic definitions and basic concepts in data communication. Second one, select relevant types of transmission media depending upon requirements, in which we are going to see the transmission media that we require for data communication to be happen. Third one is identify various multiplexing and switching techniques used in digital communication. Fourth one will be identify types of transmission error and error correction techniques. And the last one will be select components of relevant IEEE standards for wireless communication. So at the end of this subject or at the end of semester, we will be able to learn all these 5 course outcomes throughout our various chapters available in your syllabus. So in your syllabus, the first chapter is Introduction to data communication. Now, what will be there in this data communication introduction? We will first see the contents of first chapter and then we'll start the actual chapter. In this, we are going to study the process of data communication. After that, we are going to study the protocols, standards and standard organizations. Then we are going to study the details of bandwidth, data transmission rate, baud rate and bits per second. Then there will be modes of communication, and then there will be the study of signals. In that we are going to learn analog signals, digital signals, and we are going to study the convergence from digital to analog and analog to analog. This will be the basic of your first chapter, that is Introduction to data communication. So now we'll first start with the basic concepts of data communication. In that we are going to first see what is actually data communication. So here you can see 3 different things are given. First one is data. So you all know what is a data. Okay. So data is nothing but the information stored in digital form. So whenever you are storing any data in your computer, in your mobile, any information, that information is known as data. We call it as data because it is stored in the digital form. The next part is communication. So what is communication? The communication can be defined as exchange of information between humans. Any kind of information whenever is exchanged, that is known as communication. Simple example, like we are talking with each other. Suppose two friends are talking and sharing some information, that is known as communication. Like teacher is teaching a lecture and students are listening that lecture, that is one type of communication. So this is a definition of communication. Now combiningly, when we are discussing data communication, it becomes exchange of information between two computers. So data communication is nothing but the exchange of information or data between computers. It will be the same process like the exchange of information between the humans. As we can chat with each other in front of each other, this will be the exchange of information between the computers. Maybe that computers will be on the same place or will be far away from each other. That will be the different scenario. So this is basically known as data communication. Now the next part in data communication is characteristics of data communication. Basically there are three characteristics given. First one is delivery, then accuracy, and then timeliness. We'll first see the meaning of all these characteristics one by one. First one is known as delivery. So what is the meaning of delivery in data communication? It is having very simple meaning. Whenever the data communication will happen between the sender and receiver, at that time that data sending from sender should reach at the destination. That is known as delivery. In simple terms, it is considered as whenever we are going to perform data communication, that is generally between two computers. So in that scenario, one computer is acting as sender and the second computer is acting as receiver. So whenever you are considering first characteristics, that is delivery of data between two computers, the sender will send the data and the receiver will receive the data. So the first characteristics states that the data should be delivered properly from sender to receiver by some means that we are going to study in the next chapter. Second one will be accuracy. Now what is the meaning of accuracy? Now as we are sending the data from sender and the receiver is going to receive the data, whatever data is going to travel between the sender and receiver, that data should be accurate. That means if the sender is sending one file which is having some information, that file should be reached to the destination as it was sent by the sender. That is known as accuracy. And the third characteristic is known as timeliness. Timeliness means the data traveling from sender up to the destination will be delivered in time range, so that the importance of data will not be violated. If the data is very important and that it is a time bound activity, then that data should reach to receiver in time. Otherwise there will be no use of that data. So that's why all these three things are the basis of data communication. That's why they are known as characteristics of data communication. So now we have seen the basic information related to the definition of data communication, and then we have seen the characteristics of data communication. Now from the next chapter we will study the protocols and standards and all other related definitions which are important for studying data communication. Also we will see what kind of questions are asked in your exam on the first chapter. So till then, study this concept and wait for the next chapter. Thank you.